station with a unique dial.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Hello and good morning. This is the World News on your premium talk radio today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Annie Abdul Salam. In the headlines, Presidential Election Tribunal admits 40 videos from PDP in evidence of electronic transmission of 2019 presidential election results. Supreme Court dismisses suit seeking disqualification of Governor Nyesom Wike from contesting 2019 governorship election in Rivers State. Motorists lament high rate of criminal activities along Emoaha axis of East-West Road. And on the foreign scene, British Prime Minister Theresa May joins criticisms against U.S. President's racist remarks. And now the details. The Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal has admitted 48 videos presented by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, Atiku Abubakar, to prove the existence of a server which was used for the presidential election. The clips, which were produced by the petitioner's fourth witness, Segun Showomi, were to back some allegations raised in their petition challenging the outcome of the February 23rd poll. They played 4 videos to prove that election results were transmitted electronically. In one of the videos, the resident electoral commissioner for Akwa Ibom State, Mike Ngini, said the results of the election will be transmitted electronically. The defense team, however, opposed the content of the video on the ground that Ngini was not the spokesperson of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The videos were played after a 5-man panel of the tribunal led by Justice Muhammad Garba overruled the objection of the councils to President Muhammadu Buhari for the videos not to be played. The Supreme Court has rejected a suit seeking to sack Adamu Bulkachoa, husband of the Court of Appeals President Justice Zainab Bulkachoa. A 5-man panel of the Apex Court in judgment dismissed the appeal by Usman Tuga, challenging the election of Bulkachoa as senator for Bauchi North Senatorial District on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. Justice John Okoro, in the lead judgment, dismissed the appeal by Tuga against the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which upheld an earlier judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja that the suit was statute barred, having been filed outside the 14 days allowed by the Constitution. Similarly, the Supreme Court has dismissed a suit seeking to disqualify Governor Nyesom Wike from contesting in the just concluded governorship election in Rivers State. Justice Paul Kalije, who read the lead judgment, said the appeal court erred in law to have allowed the appellant, Elvis Chinda, amend his notice of appeal several days after he ought to have done so. The 5-man panel held that amendment of the notices of appeal cannot be done outside the time stipulated by law. Governor Wike had earlier approached the Apex Court challenging the decision of the appeal court to allow Chinda amend his notice of appeal seeking to remove him as governor of Rivers State on the grounds of alleged age falsification. One Gift Melody Nwala has been remanded in prison on the 3-count charge of rape, robbery and threat to life by a magistrate court sitting in Choba, Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State. According to the charges, Melody Nwala is alleged to have conspired with 5 others who are on the run to rape and rob properties belonging to Miracle Wodu and Barine Anthony at Mbodo in Alu community in Ikore local government area of Rivers State on the 3rd of July 2019. The 19-year-old girl is alleged to have aided one Onyemachi Austin with others to rob their victims a mobile phone, a wristwatch, a handbag, and cash. Considering the charges, Chief Magistrate Israel Agbeso declined jurisdiction and ordered that the case file be forwarded to the Department of Public Prosecution DPP for advice and adjourned to the 19th of July for bail considerations. Despite the number of police checkpoints between the Emoha and Bielsa axis of the East-West Road, kidnapping and robbery, raping and killings by armed men appear to be on the increase. Our correspondent gathered from some drivers plying the route that there are over 30 police checkpoints within Emoha Elele, which they described as Sambisa Forest. Some of the drivers who spoke to our correspondent said they have suffered in the hands of criminals along the road who kidnap, rape women, and even kill drivers, as well as passengers at will on a daily basis without any intervention from the police. The drivers, while calling on the federal government to deploy military personnel to the road, also asked the Commissioner of Police to reduce the number of checkpoints on the East-West Road.
You understand? Because see checking point for here, see checking point, you go middle of checking point, 2 checking point. They go they kidnap driver, kidnappers even shoot driver there every day for this road. It's done too much. May federal government may they come up police for the road, may they put soldier for the road for us. Because now what we want be that for the road because all of us we get family for us now. They kill our people every day, kill passenger, kill driver every day. You understand? May they help us because the checking point we not know, we not understand what they happen for the road again because in between 2 checking point, police go even they look they say they go they kidnap full 18-seater inside bush and checking point day in between. So may federal may they help us for the road.
If you from Shoba Bridge to Emoa Secretariat, we have up to 4 checkpoints alone. 15, approximately 15. So in terms of robbery on the road, you can see what police is telling us, the road users. If they say we should give them 100 naira.
Even one day I was coming from Wari around 8:30 in the morning. Look at checking points. The next, not too far, you see the kidnapping operation going on there. We had to drive back to the checking point.
Another driver who pleaded anonymity shared his experience on the Emoha axis of the East-West Road.
What happened? The day you were. I was not ever be kidnapped though, but I've experienced their kidnapping operation. Understand? I wish I had to run to escape my passengers had to escape. That day, I was coming from Warri to Port Harcourt around 8:30 in the morning. Immediately I passed the checking point, I saw kidnapping operation going on. So I saw cars revising. I saw the kidnappers, they were police uniform. They were plenty, almost 15. They were carrying passengers inside the bush. So I had to revise back to the checking point. Yeah. Police were there. Immediately, some cars had to revise down to checkpoint 2 as well. Then also, there's one Camry car, they shot the louvers, the kidnapper shot the louvers. The guy died, the passenger sitting at the passenger side that died. When the guy tried to turn the car back to checking point, I told them that the operation going on there. They killed the man, they killed.
While the River State Police Command is yet to react to the recent development, it will interest you to know that the immediate past Commissioner of Police had declared the state of emergency on the Emoha axis of the East-West Road. Meanwhile, the River State Police Command says it has smashed a kidnapper's den at a forest in Omerelu, Ikure local government area of the state. Spokesman of the command, DSP Nnamdi Omoni, in a statement said operatives of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad stormed the forest in a sting operation yesterday. DSP Omoni said on sighting the police, the hoodlums engaged them on a gun drill, but were repelled and chased farther into the forest, with some of them sustaining life-threatening gunshot wounds. He added that the camp of the kidnappers was dismantled and set ablaze while weapons and ammunition were recovered. Some residents of River State have started lamenting on the alleged failure of the government to ensure effective functioning of the street lights. Port Harcourt residents from Slaughter, YKC, Woji, and other parts of the state, including Wan Uche Onyemezu, said the lack of street lights have given hoodlums free access to commit crime. Some of them who spoke to correspondent Elfreda Alerici stressed on the need for the government to revive the street lights.
KC to Slaughter Road, from Slaughter Road to Ogideba, I think we are approaching to Artillery. Before we came into seat, those lights before the election, those lights used to be on. You know that the NEPA light doesn't come, but at least they use generator. But you see the light being on. But now the weekend has won the election. We're not seeing the light evening. I saw these Slaughter boys robbing a woman of her phone, stabbed on her hand. But because there's no light, it was in a dark place, the woman and the boys. So you don't even know who is robbing who. But if there was light, you'll be able to see who they are robbing. And even if you shout, other people will run around.
I stay on Transwoji Road, and we have street lights mounted, but it's not always the light shines in our area. And knowing Slaughter for what it is, there are a lot of hoodlums around. And if the street light is not on, they come out and will take away their belongings. So I think government should do something about this light.
Stakeholders have expressed hope that the ongoing repairs of the Port Harcourt refinery will put an end to the stopgap measures usually experienced at the refinery. Our correspondent Chinedi Una, who visited the Port Harcourt refinery, reports that repair works were ongoing at the facility and is expected to end before the end of 2019. Chairman of Port Harcourt Unit of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, Emmanuel Iningba, who spoke to our correspondent, said the repair work, when completed, will also boost the production capacity of the refinery. Iningba also believes that economic activities within the area will pick up when operations resume in the facility.
The refinery is undergoing repairs. This is not just turnaround. Major repairs, at least once and for all. But as I speak with you, the loadings in the refinery so far, products we get are imports via marine that comes through refinery and NPSC pipelines and tankages where we get to load and take to our stations. Once this repairs is done, we hope for optimum loadout and the optimum capacities too from the refineries. As it is breaking transmission, stopgap measures affects a lot. Again, looking at it now, refinery is down, is undergoing repairs. You can see there is no major economic activities going on here. Shops are closing and that. The presence of this refinery goes a long way in affecting and touching the lives of the citizens.
The University of Port Harcourt branch of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union have joined a 3-day protest to demand a 30 billion naira earned allowance. The university staff are also protesting against alleged federal government's refusal to obey a cut judgment on staff school salaries. The peaceful protests, which drew scores of affected workers to the main gate of the institution, affected smooth vehicular movements in and out of the school premises. The protesting workers, who were armed with placards of anti-government inscriptions, want the federal government to live up to its responsibilities.
Because our blood is hot, I can assure you that we'll shut down the system. The university system starts with the non-teaching staff. What have you been negotiating for over 3 years? What are you negotiating? It's unacceptable. Federal government to pay us our rent. After 3 days protesting today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, we shall proceed to our zona, from zona to national 3 days. After that, we shall issue to obey the court order. The way they are doing it. The court order of the international court that was run on the 5th of December 2016. They should obey it and call back all the teachers that have been sacked. A lot of them have died. Most of them are suffering. Federal government, please obey court order and call them back to their job. Now, the renegotiation of 2009 agreements is overdue.
Leader of the Joint Action Congress comprising SANU and NASU in Uniport, Bernard Nwachukwu, said they are not being treated with respect.
To improve the strength of non-teaching staff, it outnumbers academic staff. 3 unions to 20%. Those are which amount of 5 billion naira. Share 5 billion naira into 3 universities only. You get nothing out of it. It's clump of. My demand now is that government should give us 30 billion naira as part of the law, not even fully. So we can begin to look at other things. That is major. And that thing is that the general agreement is supposed to be reviewed, as I said. They have set up a committee 2016, Walaki committee. There's no headway. Darling, up till now, what are they writing? What are they reviewing? Now we cannot go. Most are no lights. There will be no lights, no security, no drivers, nothing. And then we'll see how it goes.
Our correspondent reports that last week the national bodies of both unions had found that the alleged preferential treatment extended to ASU by the federal government as seen in the allocation of 80% of monies released to the union, leaving the non-academic staff with 20%. You're listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM. After the break, we'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
Every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. It's 14 minutes after 7, and you're still listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. The Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP, has assured indigent Ogoni people of the full participation in the ongoing cleanup of oil-impacted Ogoni communities in River State. High Prep under the Federal Ministry of Environment said 95% of Ogonis were currently working in different capacities in the cleanup of 21 remediation sites in Ogoni land. Project coordinator of High Prep Marvin Deckel said this in an interview with newsmen on the sidelines of a stakeholders meeting with Ogoni elected representatives on the cleanup project in Port Harcourt. Deckel said High Prep organized the meeting to bring stakeholders to current happenings in the cleanup exercise as well as assure them of the federal government's commitment to Ogoni environment and its people. Medical experts are beginning to speak against what is widely known among women as cryptic pregnancy. Head of gynecology at the River State University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Dango Kalio, in an interview with our correspondent, described the act as wicked. Dr. Kalio said the practice is an act of fraud used by quacks to extort women who are desperately in need of conception.
If there are doctors or healthcare practitioners that recruit clients for the purpose of inducing cryptic pregnancy in them, that is a fraudulent scheme. It's a scam. Now, if there are healthcare practitioners who go about telling people that they should come so that they will induce cryptic pregnancy in them, it's a scam. It's a fraudulent scheme. They are deceiving the people to make money out of them. That, in a strict sense, is not cryptic pregnancy.
Kalio, who confirmed the existence of cryptic pregnancy, said it is a risky form of pregnancy as the women involved do not undergo the regular routine for pregnant women.
In the real sense of cryptic pregnancy, pregnancy is there but not detected. The bearer of the pregnancy, that is the pregnant woman, doesn't know about it. Common conventional methods have failed to detect it as at the time the presentation was made until delivery. But the high point of this condition is that those women that will have it will have irregular menses. Some months they may not see their menses at all. And so they may not also know, or even women who are on contraceptive pills or what they call the coil, because they are taking those contraceptive devices, they may not believe that they are pregnant. So several consequences. You can have preterm deliveries, premature babies. Your babies or the fetus can die in the womb.
Correspondent Ifunanya Bemundukwe reports that there have been recent reports on women getting pregnant through cryptic pregnancy, which involves doctors inducing women with different medications to make them appear pregnant. The Ondo State Police Command says it has made a number of arrests over the killing of the daughter of the leader of the Pan-Yoruba social political organization, Afenifere Funke Olakunri. The police reiterated that its men are still in the forest in the local government to search for the hoodlums. The police public relations officer in the state, Femi Joseph, also promised that the command will not relent until the perpetrators were apprehended and brought to book. On the number of those arrested, Joseph said he will not be able to disclose the number for security reasons, but said a number of suspects have been arrested and will be paraded in due time. And now to the foreign scene. South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma has told a George-led inquiry that allegations of corruption against him were a conspiracy aimed at removing him from the political scene. He was appearing for the first time at the inquiry, which is to investigate allegations that he oversaw a web of corruption during his term in office. 77-year-old Zuma, who was forced to resign as president in February 2018, was replaced by his then deputy, Cyril Ramaphosa, who has described Zuma's 9 years in office as wasted. Meanwhile, the allegations against Zuma focuses on his relationship with the controversial Gupta family, which was accused of influencing cabinet appointments and winning lucrative state tenders through corruption. United Kingdom's Prime Minister Theresa May has criticized U.S. President Donald Trump for calling on several Democratic Congresswomen of color to go back. The outgoing Prime Minister called Trump's words completely unacceptable. Trump was quoted as referring to the women as those originally coming from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe. He was referring to 4 congresswomen, 3 of whom were born in the U.S. and 1 who came as a child refugee. His remarks were widely condemned as racist and as having gone beyond previous statements and actions by the president that drew allegations of racism. And now to entertainment. Record label owner Ubi Franklin has expressed regrets in the way he had his kids. Ubi, in an interview with OAP Daddy Freeze, said he never planned his children from different mothers and that he wishes all his children were together. Ubi also revealed how he met his third baby mama, and when asked if he misses his ex-wife, Lilian Esoro, he said the question is difficult to answer. And now to end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has admitted 40 videos from the PDP in evidence of electronic transmission of the 2019 presidential election results. The Supreme Court has dismissed the suit seeking to disqualify Governor Nyesom Wike from contesting the 2019 governorship election in Rivers State. And we told you that motorists are lamenting a high rate of criminal activities along the Emoha axis of the East-West Road. And on the foreign scene, the British Prime Minister, Theresa May, has joined in the criticisms against the U.S. president's racist remarks about 4 congresswomen. And that was the news, is edited by Chinedu Iwuna. For comments and inquiries, please call 081-4434-3502 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Annie Abdul Salam. Thank you for listening. Have a good morning.
Today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
All right, we have a special guest from Endless Properties in our studios. Please, what do you have for us today?
Yes, thank you. My name is Engineer Pera from Endless Properties and Development Limited. In Endless Properties and Development Limited company, we sell land, we sell houses, we sell land for agriculture, we sell land for industries, and we sell land for houses. For those of us that are still paying house rent, you're still paying students' school fees, I say you're still living under financial pressure. So run down to my office at number 5 First Artillery, opposite Stanbic IBTC Bank, behind Hana Fast Food. You see the one-story building, painted blue and green. That is our office. You must become landlord, you must become landlady. Right now, we have brought a special promo that, irrespective of your salary, you must buy land with our company. And all our land is buy, build, and parking. A lot of people are already building. You can buy the one at Omawa. This Omawa is just immediately after Dangote. You see our estate, and opposite Peseta University, the first gate owned by Salvation Ministry University, and the major road that takes you to Were, that takes you to Lagos, just very close to the airport. That one is just 900,000 naira. Last week we give over 83 people their land, and this week too we're also going to give all the people that are buying this week their land. So run out to my office to buy that one. Is very, very powerful. You can also buy the one at Eneka. This Eneka is for those people that say my house rent is 200,000, 250,000. Please, for hearing my voice, don't pay that money again. Bring that money to my office. Let's give you a land. This land is buy, build, and parking. A lot of people are saying Eneka is flooded. This land is a table land. It's not flooded. It's a very powerful place. Over 300 people are already building. That one is 2.5 million, but now you're paying 1,500,000 naira. And you have the one at Airport Road, immediately after the international airport on a major road. You get that one. That one is 900,000 naira. You can buy the one at Afam. You can also buy the one in Chokosho. You can buy the one at Tigrita. You can buy the one at Lingbu Woji. In fact, my people, if you don't have this money, you can pay small. So what you need to do, just call my line 080-378-98547. I take it again, 080-378-98547, or call the Airtel line 081-294-27467, 081-294-27467, or call the Glow line 080-748-10202, 080-748-10202, or check us on our website www.endlessgroup.com. Or as you're hearing my voice on your Facebook, just open your phone on your Facebook, type Endless Properties, or your Instagram, your Twitter, you'll see us there. Just send us a message. If you want to see this land, I always tell people this is a rainy season. For you to know if the land exists and if the land is good, you need to see this land. We advise people see our land before you pay. So call my line, let's schedule for inspection. If you're ready to see it now, once you come to my office, we take you to the site, you see it. Another thing people are asking, can I pay small? You can start with 100,000 naira, you achieve your housing dream. Another thing that people are asking, is this your land free from government? Greater Port Harcourt, my people, all our land, we are satisfied with Greater Port Harcourt, with state government, government, with federal government. We are not just selling the land to you, we are selling the value and benefit. So if you're buying our land, you have to have a rest of mind, because a lot of people are already living in our estate. And when you come to our off state, you buy land, I want to give you all your land documents, like C of O will be given to you, give you a survey plan that will be duly registered in the Ministry of Land and Survey. I'm also going to give you a deed of conveyance. We're going to give you a allocation letter. We're going to give you official receipt. You're not paying for bush entry. You're not paying for machine grant. You're not paying for faces development. I tell people, Copper bought the land from us, 480,000 naira, just about 4 years ago. Right now, they are begging her for 50 million naira. That's the power of the estate. So my people, for hearing my voice, anywhere you are, run down to my office at number 5, Rumorba by First Artillery on Major Abba Port Harcourt Road, just opposite the Stanbic IBTC Bank. We are sharing face with the Hana Fast. We see the one-story building painted blue and green. That is our office. You can buy the one in Lagos, the one at Ibeju Lekki, the one at Lakowe, the one at Badagry, the one at Lake Yaja. You can also buy the one at Babalada in Abuja. So call my line 080-378-98547, 080-378-98547, or call the Airtel line 081-294-27467, 081-294-27467, or my Glow line 080-748-10202, 080-748-10202. Remember, your first house.
Hi, Mommy.
Hello, my love. Missing me already?
Yes, Mommy. When are you coming?
Oh, next week, darling. And I'll be bringing delicious meals for you and all your friends.
Okay, Mommy. I can't wait to see you. Love you.
Love you too.
She says she's bringing food next week.
All of you, keep quiet. Oh yeah, fetch my water now. I can't be late for assembly.
Yes, SP.
Tunde, you're exempted.
Good taste creates great memories. Relive the memory of delicious meals cooked with Mr. Chef's Seasoning Cubes. Available in multiple variants. Mr. Chef's Seasoning Cubes are available at your nearest market or superstore. Mr. Chef's Seasoning Cubes, creating delightful memories.
Akas, where you pack all these plenty loads they go with your family?
They go Dubai.
What did they happen for Dubai?
You never hear about Odibola Invest and Travel Promo?
Odibola Invest and Travel Promo?
Yes, so that one be say, if you buy 5 plots of land for inside Odibola Quiet Heaven Layout Phase 2, you don't qualify instant to go Dubai with me.
You mean say 5 plots of land? Me and my family, we don't see Dubai be that?
Yes, so buy 5 plots for 1.5 million naira each. All expense paid. You not go pay 1 naira at all. And even you, if you buy 1 plot, you don't qualify for raffle draw to go Dubai with me and my family. All the experience now, me and your family go enjoy them together. Mudiaga.
Bobby, make I rush quick, make it not pass me and my family.
Oh yeah, make this opportunity not pass you and your family by you. Visit their office waiting for Yenwali. Instagram layout of Tombia Extension, GRA Phase 2 Port Harcourt, or call Joy for 0701-236-4510. 0701-236-4510. Make you not miss this opportunity with Akas Baba and family. Terms and condition applies. Dubai. Yeah, I call.
Now when they ball, they go Dubai.
Hey, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
What a goal!
Hangs it up for Ronaldo. Oh my God!
Experience the glorious goals rush. The heated verbal jabs and even moments of madness. Experience the sensational swings, strokes and shots, the moments of victory and despair. Experience lights out on a majestic night in Singapore and a whole lot more.
On your premium talk news and sports radio station.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Listen to Sports Attack every weekday from 7:30 a.m. and Today Sports Live after the news update at 3 p.m. Stay tuned on Saturdays and Sundays for a bumper edition of Today Sports Live from 1 to 6 p.m. Experience sports in its entirety on your premium talk news and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Hi everyone, my name is Ese Brume, Commonwealth and African long jump champion. You're listening to Sports Attack on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Don't touch that dial.
A very good morning to you all out there, and welcome to another blazing edition of Sports Attack, reaching you live from the studios of your premium talk news and sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. It's Tuesday, the 16th of July, 2019, and my name is Dorcas Koki, the sports diva. I'm here to take you through major stories making the rounds in the world of sports, so don't go anywhere. The show would take full swing after this time out.
My name is Simidele Adiagbo, the first ever Nigerian skeleton athlete to compete in the Winter Olympics. To keep tabs on trending sports stories across the globe, keep listening to Sports Attack on your premium talk, news, and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. You will be glad you did.
We begin this morning by telling you that gunmen yesterday abducted Madam Beauty Ogere Seyasea, the mother of former Super Eagles coach Samson Seyasea. The 76-year-old woman is being abducted for the second time in 4 years. Report states that she was taken away by armed men around 2 o'clock a.m. from her home in Odoni, Sagbama local government area of Bayelsa State. And off to other matters this morning, where the federal government has resolved that it will collaborate and work with the French Development Agency, FDA, to develop sports and equip the high-performance centers to required international standards and optimize the potential of Nigeria's female and male athletes. The Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, Olushade Adeshola, made this known by receiving a delegation of FDA on the courtesy visit. Adeshola declared that the visit by the FDA was timely and was unexpected for the ministry to rediscover ways and means of strengthening institutions and facilities for sports in Nigeria. While considering the fact that the FMYSD does not have a policy that particularly targets females in sport, he could affirm that the ministry have a fixed and tested policies and programs that ensure that Nigeria's participation in local and international games include gender balance. Besides the Nigerian female football national team across FIFA age brackets, Adeshola cited instances of other competitive games that are primarily organized to control and nurture budding talents across the demographic bracket of the youthful age of Nigeria's population of 180 million. This, according to him, include the National Sports Festival, National Youth Games, and other international sporting games. Furthermore, he also asserted that the urgent need to recognize and build high-performance centers in the country with standard equipment and facilities cannot be overemphasized in developing sports in Nigeria, adding that the FDA's assistance in this regard would be mostly appreciated to enhance Nigeria's athletes' performance in competitive games. And off to curling we'll go this morning, where a board member of the Nigerian Curling Federation, NCF, Samuel Hayward, said the National Open Curling Clinic was put together to find athletes that will represent the country in local and international competitions. The clinic, which was held at the National Stadium Surulere, Lagos on July 11th and 12th, 2019, included kids, adults, and wheelchair athletes. Let's hear from Hayward.
The Nigerian Curling Federation is putting this together, the clinics, in order to get together potential athletes that would represent Nigeria at the world stage, and also even local events as well, basically. That's why we're putting this together. And more so, we're using this opportunity to popularize the sport of curling, amongst people. We know that the sport of curling is new to them, but what we're trying to do with the clinic, like, hey, we just finished the all Nigeria secondary school curling clinics. Now we're having the first Nigerian National Open Curling Clinics. Now, this is open to everybody, different age category, where we're actually training them, making them understand the rules of curling, and also let it be a hands-on, also on the dry sheet. Now, the dry sheet is supposed to be what we use here, because Nigeria doesn't experience ice. We're in the tropicals. So, basically, what we're doing today is to teach the public, the interested or potential athletes, how to play the sport of curling.
Also speaking, the Deputy Technical Director of the NCF, Charles Namus, said Nigeria have a great legacy of athletes and think Nigeria can compete against other countries after the training.
Nigeria is a country of 200 million people with a great legacy of athletes and a very strong population. So we can compete very well against small Nordic countries in this sport. Very encouraged. We've seen some great athletes here today. People are learning the basics and the fundamentals of the sport, but also the strategy, which is very important. They call curling chess on ice. So it's not only the physicality of the sport, but the mental aspect.
while successful athletes will eventually travel to the United States and Canada to train and become professional coilers. And off to basketball this morning, we'll go where Sakaya Basketball Club of Turkey-based player TK Edogi is excited about the prospect of representing Nigeria at the 2019 FIBA World Cup. Edogi said that making it to the World Cup is always the dream of every player because such opportunities do not come often. The player, who has also featured for Nigeria at the 2018 Peak Invitational Tournament in China, revealed that he missed playing a role during the qualifiers because of club engagements, but he's really excited to be on the 44-man preliminary roster for the World Cup.
Last summer, I was invited to participate in the China Invitationals for Nigeria, and this year they called a couple of guys back, and it's a great opportunity. I feel like I performed well at the China Invitationals last summer, and that was the reason why I was able to get invited back to the World Cup camp. As far as like playing in qualifications, my season was kind of hectic, and I didn't have enough time to, leave in the middle of the season to go play in the qualifications. I feel like I just can control what I can control, and as long as I go out there and play hard, work hard, and show what I can, bring to the table, I feel like I have good chances.
Edogi expressed optimism that with the right attitude in training as well as hard work representing Nigeria at the World Cup would be a dream come true, and also commended coach Alex Nwora, whom he described as a great mind for his deep knowledge of basketball, which has continued to see the players in camp improve daily.
I mean, the feeling it's a great feeling to just come out here and compete with the best of the best for Nigeria. Coach Alex, he's a great basketball mind, and he's already taught us a few things, that we can even carry on later on in our basketball careers. I think playing in the World Cup for Nigeria would be a great honor because you get to represent your country. You're playing for that name on the front of your jersey, Nigeria, as well as your last name, your family, and I think it's just going to be a great opportunity for everyone.
The 25-year-old forward said although it might be too early to talk about how far the team can go at the World Cup, impossibility is nothing with the right players.
I definitely think it's a little too early, but I like our chances. We're a very talented group, and we have a lot of talent here. And I feel like the more time we spend together and build that chemistry, it's only going to make us stronger.
Similarly, Nigeria signed out of the FIBA Africa Under-16 Championship on a winning note with a 54-53-point victory against Guinea to win the bronze medal, having narrowly missed out of the final and an eventual Under-17 World Cup ticket. The boys were determined to achieve a podium finish as they overcame a spirited Guinea. Nigeria's power forward Ruben Chinyelu won the highest rebounder award with a 1-1 rebounds, while Farouk Issa got voted alongside Yusuf Sangara of Mali, Ibrahima Diallo of Guinea, Mohamed Abdulzed of Egypt, and Abdoulaye Ahmed, also of Egypt, as the competition's all-star five. The team, coached by Fubara Oyenabo, departed prior yesterday evening and will arrive Lagos tomorrow. And off to boxing, we'll go this morning where Dillian White could earn a fight against Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, but has questioned whether his heavyweight rivals want to back up their rash claims. White battles Oscar Rivas at the O2 on Saturday night, with the winner likely to be confirmed as the mandatory challenger for the WBC belt, which is currently held by Wilder. Fury expects to challenge Wilder in a February match after they battled to a draw in December, but White remains unsure whether the winner would be willing to face him. According to White, he said, "Let's see. These guys are always trying to find another way out of fighting me, as they keep doing," White said when asked about facing Wilder or Fury. Wilder has previously distanced himself from a fight against White, and the WBC champion is set to make his next title defense against Luis Ortiz in a September rematch. And to tennis, where French Open champion Ashley Barty hung on to top place in the WTA rankings released yesterday despite crashing out of Wimbledon in the last 16 to America Ashley Risk in 3 sets. The top three of Barty, Naomi Osaka, and Karolina Pliskova remains unchanged, although none of them reached the quarterfinals. Simona Halep demolished Serena Williams in under an hour in Saturday's final, moves up 3 places to number 4. Williams also moved up 1 place to 9. Former world number 1 Angelique Kerber, who lost to Lauren Davis in the second round at Wimbledon, dropped out of the top 10 to 13. WTA ranking as of yesterday, let's give you the full list, where Ashley Barty it tops the list. She's number 1 in the world. Naomi Osaka remains second. Karolina Pliskova is third. Simona Halep fourth. Kiki Bertens fifth. Petra Kvitova sixth. Elena Svitolina seventh. Sloane Stevens, Serena Williams, and Arina Zabalenka are 8th, 9th, and 10th, respectively. Meanwhile, 37-year-old Roger Federer, after missing out in heartbreaking fashion to world number 1 Novak Djokovic in the just concluded Wimbledon, was a shot away from becoming the oldest man to win a major in the professional era. He said, "I will try to forget this final."
Take it on your chin, you move on, and you try to forget, and you try to take the good things out of this match. It's just tons of it. And like similar to 08, maybe I will look back at it and think like, well, it's actually not that bad after all, But for now, it hurts, and it should, Like every loss hurts here at Wimbledon. But yeah, I think it's a mindset, and I'm very strong at being able to move on, because I don't want to be depressed about actually an amazing tennis match.
When asked how he could still play at the top of his game at 37, Roger had this to say.
Well, yeah, I hope I give some other people a chance to believe that at 37 it's not over yet. And no, I feel great. I mean, obviously it's going to take some time to recover physically too, but no, it's all good. I don't know. I couldn't give more. I gave it all I had, and I still feel all right. I still stand, so it's good, and I wish the same for the other 37-year-olds.
Novak Djokovic still remains number 1 in the world, and Rafael Nadal is still number 2, Roger Federer 3, and Dominic Thiem remains 4th, Alexander Zverev 5th, Stefanos Tsitsipas remains 6th, Kei Nishikori of Japan is 7th, Karen Khachanov is 8th, Fabio Fognini is 9th, and Daniel Medvedev is 10th. And that's all we have on other sports this morning, and football is next on the menu.
For the best and most incisive sporting reports, tune in to Sports Attack on Today95.1 FM every week morning at 7:30 a.m. My name is Daniel Igale, President of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation. I also listen to the show.
Welcome back. This is still Sports Attack, and now we head straight to the MPFL, where Aqua United have reviewed plans to get a new coach, reshuffle their current squad, and acquire new players ahead of the 2019-2020 Nigeria Professional Football League season. More speculations have been surrounding the managerial position in Aqua United FC shortly after Omar Gaffer and Brazilian Rafael Everton reportedly fell out of favor with the board, and as a result flew back to his hometown, Sao Paulo. None of the board members or media team of the Southern club would say anything about it as an interim coach. Abasia Ken Windy took charge of the team's last match in the Super 6 playoff against Enyimba and 8 ITO Cup games. He would rather speak less when asked if a peep into the managerial appointment.
No. In fact, I think I want to think about it. You come. I just thought I should give myself some holiday, and then before this time, the captain and brother, we work at it.
Speaking exclusively to busybodies.com on the occasion of his 61st birthday, chairman of the club, Paul Bassi, talked about plans for the forthcoming season.
Yeah, not the problem. We sat down with my management and listened to people. We started a process of the organization. We're looking out for a coach. We've put about 12 players on the transfer market. We're looking at bringing about 7-8. It's a rebuilding process. I've always had the team on ground, a core team, just remove and add. Some players are leaving because of injury, some of them indiscipline, but that's what happens every time. We're in the process of getting ready for the season. I don't even have to season supposed to start in August, so you can imagine we're now in July. So we're doing everything possible to make sure that we're ready when the season starts.
Rafael Everton guided the Promise Keepers to the top of Group B in the abridged league, but fell short to a continental spot in the Super 6 playoff, finishing 4th on the log. He reportedly fell out of favor with the board during the playoffs and was not in the dugout for the final game against eventual champions Enyimba. He has since returned to Brazil, according to his media managers. And to Canning Pillars we go this morning, where the Canning Pillars Football Club players have been directed to resume to camp to club camp in Kano. The players went on 10 days break after their semi-final triumph over Calabar Rovers Football Club by 4-2 via penalty shootout at their Parakou Stadium in Makurdi. According to the team's spokesman Alhaji Riwanu Idris Malikawa, he said all players must be present at the training ground yesterday, and any player who fail to show up will have himself to blame. According to Riwanu he said all players are directed to return back to the camp on Sunday, and normal training will commence yesterday, which was Monday, at the Sani Abacha Stadium, Kofamata, Kano. Malikawa said the club decided to go back to the training ground in order to prepare well for the challenges ahead of this year's ITO Cup final against relegated Niger Tornadoes Football Club in a date and venue yet to be decided by the Nigerian Football Federation. And to the camp of the Super Eagles, where Super Eagles head coach Gunnar Ross says his players still have a lot to learn tactically following their defeat in the semi-finals of the 2019 African Cup of Nations at the hands of Algeria. Nigeria's campaign for a fourth AFCON title was halted in a heartbreaking fashion by a last-minute winner from Riyad Mahrez free kick at the Cairo International Stadium on Sunday. Nigeria showed some improvement in the second half, for which Rob praised his side, but he also pointed out that his midfielders especially still have aspects of their games where they must improve, and express confidence that in time these improvements will come.
It was better in the second half, so we had some shooting on the goal. We had this goal, and I congratulate my players for this big fight against a very good team. We knew that in the tournament it's becoming more and more difficult, and today in the last minute they won it, and they deserve it. So we have to work much more. We are young. Our midfield is the youngest one. This Ndidi, Tego, and Ivodi, they have to learn tactically. They have to make a better communication. But I think with the time, they will do it.
In the same vein, the media officer of the Super Eagles, Toyin Ibitoye, said Nigeria lost to a better side on Sunday, but they still have to pick themselves up to face Tunisia in the third place match tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a lot to have this kind of review. I think we lost a better team. I don't think anybody will argue too much about the fact that Algeria the better team for most part of that game. So congratulations to Algeria for great game. It's a pity we considered that winner at the time we did, but that's football. The other night we were the ones celebrating the late winner against South Africa. It was Algeria celebrating the late winner against Nigeria. That's football. So we have to recruit very quickly because we have another game to play on Wednesday, third place. I don't think it will be bad if we finish third. It's the best 24 football in Africa. So we'll keep our eyes on that prize, see if we can get that consolation for Nigeria.
Ibitoye further stated that there is a lot of hope for the Super Eagles in future.
Yes, we can be part of our team, and there's a lot of hope for the future because our team is young, and there's still a lot of football in a lot of the players. We'll keep working on that team, keep improving areas of that team, so that we can do better in future competitions.
In the meantime, former Nigeria goalkeeper Ida Peterside wants head coach Gunnar Ross sacked after the Super Eagles were beaten 2-1 by Algeria in the semi-finals of the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations in Cairo, Egypt on Sunday. The former Sharks and Morocco Swallows shot stopper reckons that the Franco-German coach lacks the technical and tactical savoir to lead the Eagles and should be relieved of his duties as a result.
We underestimated how good the Algerians were. I'm surprised the coaches will pick it up. From the beginning of this tournament, I have said either Senegal or Algeria will win it because it was obvious. Nothing happened. We just played a better side. Now, my comfort with the game, every one of us feels bad. But when you look at the opponent that you played and see how better they were against you, that's no shame. We had a great tournament. We were not good enough to win it. And we should come back and say, okay, in the next 2 years, we have a lot of young players that needs to be well coordinated. I think the right thing to do is to sack the coach this morning. You must let him go.
Peterside admitted that Nigeria played the better side in the competition after the Super Eagles lost this at 4-6 of Algeria.
So we're still recovering. It's quite sad. A lot of times people think, well, you got to the semi-finals, you've done well. And what I've always said, second is last to the first. We didn't play too well in the tournament, we must all agree. We didn't have a very great side, we must all agree. I think the will of the Nigerian mentality, the Nigerian will, kept pushing us, into the second round, to the quarterfinals. And I think we're not good enough to win the trophy. And we played a very tactical side. We played the best side in the competition.
When asked about the superstitious belief of the green jersey, Peter said had this to say.
No. There's a saying about workman always complains of his tools. Yes, if you're not good enough, you're not good enough. Even if you wear black and white or red and blue, it's not about the jersey. It's about performance. I think you need to be prepared and don't give excuses for whatever loss that comes your way. Our national team is not quality enough. As simple as that. If I ask you guys in the studio, okay, which of our player in our national team can play for Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United? Which of them?
That was Peter's side, and now we head to AFCON, where where match winner for Algeria, Riyad Mahrez, said that the semi-final win over the Super Eagles has imbued the Desert Foxes with an additional confidence, which has given them the belief that they are capable of the win. That's the win in the 2019 African Cup of Nations. Algeria captain Mahrez's sublime free kick in the dying seconds earned Algeria a 2-1 win over three-time African winners Nigeria on Sunday, and a place in the finals against Senegal, who had earlier defeated Tunisia 1-0 after extra time.
I think we've been very good in this tournament. We scored 12 goals and we conceded 2. We have already the confidence, I think, but this game just gives us more confidence to play in the final. It will be another battle, another tough game, but I think we are capable to win it. We've played Senegal in the group stage. It's a very good team, and we will see.
Tomorrow, Nigeria plays Tunisia in the third place match, while Senegal and Algeria will battle it out for the finals. That's on Friday. Into the CAF Champions League, where Esperance de Tunis and Wydad Casablanca have both lodged appeals at the Court of Arbitration for Sports (CAS) over the decision to replay the second leg of the CAF Champions League final. The Confederation of African Football, that's CAF, ordered the match to be replayed, saying that the conditions of the game and safety were not met. It followed Wydad's decision to leave the pitch after an equalizer they scored was disallowed. Esperance were leading 1-0 in the second leg at the time, and 2-1 overall. Wydad wanted the video assistant referee to check if the goal should stand, but the system was not working. However, Esperance were declared week champions. Later that week, Esperance were ordered to return the Champions League trophy and their winner's medal. The 1-1 draw for the first leg in Morocco stands. A statement from CAS did not give the full details of the basis for Wydad's case. It read simply that the club requests that the challenge decision be set aside and consequently to be declared winners of the 2018-2019 CAF Champions League and to receive the prize money allocated to the winners. The counter-claim from Esperance is similar, as the club wants relief that the challenge decision be considered as null and void and consequently to be declared winners of the 2018-2019 CAF Champions League. The club and CAF have agreed a timetable for the case to be considered by CAS, and a final decision will be issued at the latest on 31st July. And traveling to Europe this morning, where Manchester United have been ranked the 34th best team in the world by Advanced Analytics. 538 produced a soccer power index at SPI that ranked the best teams in the world by giving each side an offensive and defensive rating. The rating represents the number of goals the team would be expected to score against an average team on a neutral field, and a defensive rating that represents the number of goals they would be expected to concede. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men, who finished 6th in the Premier League last season, were ranked in 34th. Young boys, Hoffenheim, Eibar, and even English rivals Everton ranked above the United. Premier League champions Manchester City were ranked at number 1 despite being dumped out of the Premier League by Tottenham in the quarterfinals. Liverpool were ranked 3rd with Frank Lampard's Chelsea 5th. Germany's champion Bayern Munich were up 2nd behind Pep Guardiola's City, but Barcelona were 4th between the two English giants. Neymar's Paris Saint-Germain ranked 6th and Real Madrid behind in 7. Surprisingly, Serie A champions Juventus were placed 15th with Inter Milan 1 ahead, despite the old lady winning the league 8 times in a row. Spurs were ranked in 12th, while fellow North London rivals Arsenal were ranked 28th. And off to North London and to Arsenal, where Arsenal fans have united to call on an absent Stan Kroenke to end his reign of passive ownership and reinvigorate the football club, which they feel has become an investment vehicle. In a combined statement from 4 supporters group, Arsenal fans tell Kroenke, the US billionaire who also owns the NFL's Los Angeles Rams, that fans have never felt more marginalized as they call for greater transparency. Arsenal is at the crossroads, they say. The band of Gunners supporters who are demanding a desperately needed restructure of the club to act as a genuine check and balance on the owner. The statement also takes aim at the perceived lack of ambition from Kroenke after going 15 years without winning the Premier League and failing to finish in the top 4 for 3 consecutive seasons. Arsenal's lack of strategy in the transfer market and the wage structure is addressed, as well as the poor atmosphere at the Emirates, which they say has become a soulless place on match days due to thousands of empty seats littering almost every game. Arsenal have made just one signing this summer in 18-year-old Gabriel Martinelli. Meanwhile, FC Porto goalkeeper Iker Casillas have been given a role on the club's coaching staff as he continues his recovery from a heart attack suffered 2 months ago. The Portuguese side said Casillas' role is to ensure the connection between the players, the coach, and the management. The Spain World Cup winner, who is 38, suffered an acute myocardial infarction during training in May. According to the report coming from Porto, they said, "I will try to do my best to help my teammates," as Casillas talking, who was able to report for pre-season on the 1st of July. And before we leave this morning, let's tell you that Neymar has told Paris Saint-Germain he wants to leave the club. Neymar, whose club future has been the source of intense speculation, confirmed his intention to leave the French capital after talks with PSG sporting director Leonardo yesterday. PSG have yet to make a formal comment, but Sky Sports News have been told talks continue over a potential return to Barcelona for the 27-year-old, while Juventus have agreed a deal with Ajax for the signing of Netherlands centre-back Matthijs de Ligt, according to Sky Sports in Italy. The 20-year-old will arrive in Turin on Tuesday night, which is today, and will undergo a medical on Wednesday in a deal worth £67.5 million. That is 75 million euros, including bonuses. The Serie A champions have already agreed personal terms with the Leeds agent Mino Raiola, with the defender set to sign a 5-year deal worth 10.8 million euros a year plus bonuses during his time in Turin. Meanwhile, Everton have confirmed the signing of England midfielder Fabio Delph from Manchester City. The 29-year-old has cost the Toffees just 9 million euros. He has signed a 3-year deal at Goodison Park. And that's how we wrap the show this morning. I am Dr. Skokie, the sports diva. The sports crew will be back after the news update at 3 for today's Sports Live. But until then, have a beautiful Tuesday.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
What a goal! Hangs it up for Ronaldo. Oh, my God!
Experience the glorious goals rush. The heated verbal jabs and even moments of madness. Experience the sensational swings, strokes and shots. The moments of victory and despair. Experience lights out on a majestic night in Singapore and a whole lot more.
On your premium talk news and sports radio station.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Listen to Sports Attack every weekday from 7:30 a.m. and Today Sports Live after the news update at 3 p.m. Stay tuned on Saturdays and Sundays for a bumper edition of Today Sports Live from 1 to 6 p.m. Experience sports in its entirety on your premium talk news and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Experience sports in its entirety on your premium talk news and sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the
feels like